So yeah, as of now, it is March 16th, right? It's March 16th today, and I'm going to be the host of our school's open day. Um, and today is the first day of open day, more like the first half, because tomorrow is the last day. So anyway, I'm going to attend the opening ceremony today because I'm the friggin' MC, I'm the host, and so is tomorrow. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow. So yeah, wish me good luck. Yeah, I just finished the cue card for the thing, and I have tons of trash. Fuck. Alright, so, not the opening, the closing ceremony of the open day has ended, and, I have there's nothing too crazy about it. It's as the usual. I actually saw Pink. She randomly showed up, like, in the middle of nowhere. Hey guys, what's up? And, it's 12:34 in the morning right now, in the midnight, in fact. Um, and, I'm here just to let you know that about, 9 hours later, I'll be having a test. The entire school will be having a test cycle, and yeah, it's technically it's a big deal, but I have had so many tests that I'm just beginning to not care as much. But anyway, we only have I only have maths test tomorrow. Some students also have computer test, uh information and what is it? Information and communication technology test. Yeah, that's the full name of ICT. But I and most others only got maths test tomorrow or today technically. So wish me good luck. And I didn't revise much, to be honest, which is kind of a problem. But at the same time, maths is like my second best subject. So, and I'm pretty confident in maths, but I'll still revise a little bit right now. So yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, right now it's March 23rd, and we just had our maths test, and it's surprisingly easy. You know, like after finishing the test, I still have time on my hands to, double check the test to see if I had made any mistakes and whatnot. And yeah, it's actually really easy. I didn't revise much, and I was pretty confident, and I'm also pretty confident now. But here comes the bad news, cause next Monday we will have our oh gosh, our liberal studies test part 2. Um our physics test and biology test, which means I and some other students will have 3 tests next Monday. And I'm truly fucked. Anyway, it's kind of weird, right? Like a liberal studies test. It's basically, essay writing on, like politics and our society and all that stuffs, and we split, like, our liberal studies tests are split into 2 parts, and we will do part 2 first, and then the next day we will do part 1. It's kind of weird, but whatever. It still sucks. Today is Friday, right? And after school, like Wednesday after school, I actually helped Cedric, my friend Cedric, on his math. His academic results, his test and exam results are falling down so insanely and significantly. So I decide to help him. And, I help him with maths and chemistry, but I can't help him with Chinese because I suck at Chinese too. And, so yeah, I kind of taught him some, maths concepts and tricks, not tricked. Why did I say that? Anyway, so Wednesday after school, I taught him, and on Thursday, there's we don't have to go to school on Thursday, aka yesterday. And yeah, it was kind of like a small break before the test, you know. So I, Natalie, and Cedric went out to like a McDonald's nearby. Took me 20 minutes to walk to there. Still kind of nearby, same district. And we sat down together and we continued to revise maths. But after we had our maths test this morning, Cedric told me that it was a difficult test. So I'm actually really concerned for Cedric. But overall, I'm pretty confident with maths. Zero confidence for biology and Chinese, however. So I better work hard on that. So, I just got back home from having lunch, and it's already fucking 4 p.m. Because I waited for that lunch for 1 hour. I waited for a seat. Me and my family. So, I'm gonna have physics test, biology test, and LS test tomorrow, and I haven't even fucking revised physics, so I'm fucked. And I haven't even started doing revision and reviewing my physics book, so I'm pretty much fucked. So we're gonna do chapter 2 to 4. Right, so let's start with chapter 2, shall we? Yeah. Alright, so speed time. I think I know that, right? Know that really well. Let's skip to the velocity time, displacement time graph, acceleration time graph. We're not gonna ponder on that too much. Let's skip straight ahead to 2.2. Alright, this is the equations. Look at that. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, and then in these questions we need to apply Newton's second law and third law. As you can see, we need to use F equals ma, which is a force equals mass times acceleration, and yeah. And we also need to draw these diagrams of friction and weight and the normal reaction and all that. So we're gonna work on that. Also the whole gravity deal, 9.81 and stuff. And then this is the other chapter about different forces and this is kind of annoying. We need to use both vertical forces and horizontal forces to set up a simultaneous equation so that we can find both forces that's pulling the object, as you can see. Yeah, this is the pulley system, as you can see. A little bit complicated, but as long as the concept is clear. Oh yeah, this is a tough question. Yeah, double star, as you can see up there. Double star. And I still haven't finished editing the Game of Thrones Season 6 Reaction Part 1, and I haven't even filmed my Eminem album review of Encore, and I still have to revise biology, which is truly a pain in the ass. I mean, it's interesting, okay? It's interesting, but I don't know why. Somehow, every time I do my biology test, I do my biology exam, I do my biology homework, I always fuck up. I don't know why. Uh, it's interesting. It's fascinating, okay? But it doesn't mean I'm good at it. So, I don't know what to do. Let's just hope for the best. So, fingers crossed and hope for the best. But to be honest, just I'm probably gonna screw this up again. So, all right. It's March 26th, and I just had my LS test. What the fuck is this? I just had my LS test and my physics test and my biology test. Great. Great. G for great. I mean, at first it was okay. At first LS test, it was fine. I mean, I actually had enough time to finish writing it. I actually wrote, it was like, you need to write an essay, and they gave us like 2 pieces of paper, and we just need to fill it up. Just fill it the fuck up. And some people actually added paper, and I didn't because I'm a loser. Anyway, I filled the 2 paper up with words, really, really small words, and which all adds up to about 1,000 words or 2,000. I don't know, but it's a huge essay. And for part A of the essay, I wrote 4 points. Part B, I wrote 5 points plus 1 counter argument, and then a conclusion. And I think that's enough. But yeah, that's the essay test. Part 2. Part 1, I have to do part 1 tomorrow. So it seems fine at first, right? And then there's the physics test, which is harder than I thought. I don't know why, okay? I did my revision. Okay, just blame it yesterday. Just blame it on yesterday. Yesterday, I could have stayed at home and do my revision, but I didn't. It was actually not a bad thing. Like, it's not my fault. I made that decision to go out to have lunch because I am supposed to have lunch outside. Except we waited for that seat in the restaurant for like an hour. Like, I'm not fucking kidding. We waited for a seat in the restaurant for 1 hour. That's why our lunch is completely delayed. That's why I don't have enough fucking time to fucking revise. And there we go. We have fucked up the physics exam. The physics test. I fucked up, okay? I messed up. Like, there's this ass question where it's like, two astronauts went to like a planet, and one of them drops a stone, and the other one has to calculate the acceleration due to gravity, and by measuring the distance dropped by the stone and the time interval of that experiment, and the answer was G equals to 2s over t squared. What the fuck am I even looking at? And people actually understand what's going on, and I don't because I'm a born loser, once again. And then, there's this crazy ass question at the end. There's this smooth surface, and there's 2 blocks, and they're connected by a string, and one block is 9 kg, and the other block is 4 kg. And then this 50 Newton force is pulled over there, pulling the 9 kg block. And I just screwed up. I don't know how. I'm dumb, okay? And I screwed up, and I just fucked up the whole physics test. Leo is going to be at least 20 marks higher than me. The full mark is 60? Yeah, 60. Leo is going to be at least 20 higher than me. Because why? Because I'm a loser, okay? I'm a loser, okay? I accept it. I accept the truth. I don't get it. I don't get any of the questions. I mean, I do get most of the questions, but I fucked up, okay? I fucked up. And then there's biology, which is even better. I revised more in biology. Like yesterday, I spent at least 2 hours to just focus on biology. Just fingers crossed, maybe it's gonna work, maybe, but of course, don't expect anything, right? And that exam paper is probably the hardest and most difficult exam paper I have done in my entire life. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, this is one of the most insane and difficult papers ever. I don't know how. I don't know how did they write those questions. I don't know how did they design those questions, but it's out of the world. They are things, they are tables, lists, graphs that you have never seen in your life. You've never seen in your textbook, in your notes. It's completely deep science that we have never made contact of. Never. Like all the revision we have done, like on the book, all the revision we have done all about the xylem and phloems in plants, all about the vessels, the arteries and veins, all the things that we have revised, all used up in the multiple choice questions. And all 6 of the long questions are super fucking insane. The definition of insanity. Like, the first long question, it's basically a huge fucking list of names that you've never seen, of units you've never seen. And, and the questions, they are insane. So this is basically a hematological report of a person. So if that person, in that table, we can see that the person lacks white blood cells, and she has enough red blood cells, but not enough hemoglobin, average hemoglobin in every red blood cell, and the red blood cell is not large enough. And it asks us, why? Why is this happening? How do I know? How the fuck do I know? I wrote down she was sick, so a lot of her white blood cells were killed during the process. And I think I'm wrong, because usually when you're sick, when the viruses invade your body, when they are detected, usually more white blood cells are generated. So it's supposed to be another disease? I don't know. And then not enough hemoglobin, I guess it's because she didn't consume enough iron. And then there's this sickle cell anemia thing that is related to the small size of the hemoglobin. I don't know. This sickle cell anemia idea comes from Leo. It's not me. I'm not a genius. Okay, I'm not a genius. Question 2 is account for how a mature red blood cells structurally adapt to carry oxygen efficiently. Like, how the fuck do I know? All the questions they are asking us are not things you would normally see in our book. It's something out of the book. That's insane. That's torture, okay? And I wrote down how red blood cells, they are biconcave in shape. So the volume to surface area ratio is maximized. And mature red blood cells do not have nucleus. I also wrote down they don't have cytoplasm, but apparently they do, according to Leo. And I also wrote something about red blood cells having a rigid shape, but apparently they do not have a rigid shape, but they do not change shape either. If they can change shape, then they can fit through the pores in the blood capillaries, but they can't. Only white blood cells can, because white blood cells have an irregular shape. Question 2 isn't that bad, to be honest. Then we have question 3, of course, which is and question 3 is a graph of blood capillaries in the tissue fluid. So this is actually a graph we've actually seen in the book before, but except this graph is a little bit more convoluted. Okay, so there's this question on. So they pointed at this specific vessel and they asked us, what is this vessel and what makes you say that. So I said, oh yeah, it's blood capillaries. It has a very thin lumen diameter, so only one red blood cell can pass through. So it's probably blood capillaries, right? And they are also thin. They have thin cell walls, 1 cell thick. So it allows not red blood cells. It allows uh, oxygen to diffuse through the cell wall easily because the diffusion distance is reduced, okay? It's fucking reduced. Yada yada. And then next question, it asks us, how are tissue fluid formed? I don't know, okay? Maybe it's mentioned in the book, but I forgot, or maybe I didn't even see it. So I said the composition of tissue fluid is the same as the plasma in our blood vessels, except of the presence of red blood cells, blood platelets, and plasma proteins, which is basically nothing like the correct answer, because I didn't even answer the fucking question. And then there's the question where it asks us the significance of tissue fluid. It provides a constant environment. I got that right, I think. Thank God. I got that right. Question 4 is simply horrendous. It's the most insane question ever you'll stumble upon. So this is an insane experiment. It's this plant, okay? This plant has 4 leaves, and all 4 of the leaves are de-starched, so that some areas of the leaves are not green in color, while some areas on the sides, on the edges of the leaves, are green in color. So some of them are de-starched, some of them aren't. All 4 leaves are de-starched, but there are parts where it's not de-starched. There are parts that are, I think. I don't even fucking know, okay? So there are 4 leaves. So there are 2 up there, which are completely ignored, and then there's another 2 down here. So this is leaf A and this is leaf B. Yes, it's a middle finger, okay? This is leaf A, this is leaf B. Leaf A, there's this glass jar surrounding leaf A, and on the bottom of the jar, it's a small puddle of concentrated sodium hydroxide solution. And there's a tube into the jar, and the tube connects to a small cylinder of a hydrogen carbonate indicator, and then there's this bulb, and it is filled with soda lime. I have no idea what it is, and there's a tube connecting to this small cylinder of hydrogen carbonate indicator, and it took me almost 5 minutes to figure out what the fuck is going on. Is air going out through this pathway? Is air going in? Turns out air's going in, okay? And I wrote down soda lime. I figured, yeah, soda lime is probably calcium carbonate, but I've done my research after the test, and turns out soda lime is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide. And apparently air passes through it and it absorbs carbon dioxide. So the plant will not receive any carbon dioxide, while there is the second plant, right? Leaf B, not the second plant, second leaf. Leaf B, there's another jar and it has a pool of distilled water, and then there's the tube. There's the cylinder of a hydrogen carbonate indicator, and then there's another tube to a bulb filled with cotton wool, and then tube out. And after thinking for 5-6 minutes, I thought that maybe the carbon dioxide passes through the cotton wool and goes in. So this setup is probably the control setup of the experiment. And hopefully I'm right. I'm actually low-key confident on that one, but still, it's a fucking difficult question. Okay, and then there's and then it asks us. So there are 2 leaves that are in the experiment. Leaf A, which are not provided with carbon dioxide, and leaf B, which are, but both leaves also has green areas and non-green areas. So it's non-green 1, green 1, non-green 2, green 2. So it asks us on each leaf what will be the result with the iodine test. So iodine solution, Basically, if starch is present, iodine solution will change from brown to blue, okay? So, I totally forgot about the non-green and green parts. So I fucked up both of the questions. And then there's this crazy ass question about the conclusion. Like, what conclusion can be drawn if you compare these two specific area of the leaves? What conclusion can be drawn, if any? So there are A, B, C to this question, and I figured out one of them is probably a trick question, right? It asks us to draw any conclusion. Draw a conclusion, if any, if there's any. So one of them probably does not have a conclusion. So I figured that one out, right? I hope, but I'm not sure. But I didn't even write the answer, so I might as well get 0 for that. And then after finishing that crazy ass question, oh yeah, and then there's this question. Wow, if the glass jar is green in color, what will happen to the leaf? I don't even know. If it's green, it absorbs every light ray except green light. And of course, why would plants need green light? Plants need every light except green, right? So I said, since the glass jar absorbed it, the plant does not absorb it, but I'm probably completely wrong. Anyway, and then I realized that I don't have much time left, and then there's this whole page about a graph of the pressure of an aorta, a left ventricle, and a left atrium across time. And wow, it's so confusing and messy. Like, which section of the graph represents the opening and closing of the bicuspid valve? And which section of the graph represents the opening and closing of the semilunar valve of the aorta? I don't know. So yeah, in short, I fucked up and I'm really mad about that. Like biology, like everyone's gonna be mad about biology because biology this year is this test is just completely brain fucking. What I'm most mad about is physics. I fucked up the last question, the string one with 2 blocks. Turns out the surface is smooth, and I'm completely wrong about the tension of the string and the acceleration of both blocks. And then the MCs, the multiple choice questions, I'm also wrong on a ton of those, especially that G equals 2s over t squared. Like, how am I gonna figure that out? I don't know. And then there's another question about I forgot, okay? I forgot. So yeah, in short, 0 confidence, and I fucked up. I fucked up.